That shit at that. Let's just go on about your day, bro. Like, you gonna spend your whole motherfucking day in here trying to convince me that you better than me when I'm telling you I think I'm better than you? There's nothing you can say in the comment section that gonna convince me that you are anything other than what you are. Especially if you a racist, poor white person. You damn sure ain't nowhere near nothing on the scale of me. Go ahead, Pounder.
So, go ahead, Emperor. Sorry. Go
ahead. No, I just wanted to say, like, in America, non-Hispanic white women are at about 1.5 kids per woman. The replacement level is 2 to 1. So you're already in a decline, okay? And you made up less than half of the births in 2023 for the first time ever. Now, if we look at South Korea, these women are doing this on purpose. They said no justice, no babies. Their fertility rate is at 0.72 children per woman, the lowest in the world. And that's not by accident. It is literally a protest. The difference is Korean women choose not to reproduce until society respects them. Y'all are sliding into the same demographic collapse, but not on purpose. It's because the sun said, I'm tired of you people. And the universe says, I just want to delete them from existence. Nobody wants to keep reproducing racism and mediocrity. And apparently your wombs are agreeing with that. So what does this mean? It means that America is spending trillions on keeping black and brown people down. And now your own numbers are shrinking anyway. And South Korea is doing it by a strategy. And y'all are on par to be with the lowest birth rate in the world, and not on purpose, but because that is what is happening in your communities. And racism is very expensive. Okay, racism has cost America trillions. 5.9 trillion in stolen slave labor, 600 billion a year on mass incarceration, to over 451 billion lost to health disparities. Meanwhile, y'all keep denying it. Like, your numbers are flatlining. Your birth rate amongst it is abysmal at this point. But here you go in the comments, still talking all of this crap, when all you got to do is go look at the census data. And I'm going to land my plane right there.
No, thanks. Go ahead, Pounder.
So I kind of wanted to actually, I was going to bring up South Korea because I actually wanted to talk about just white people in general, because I think you guys have things messed up. And I think you guys forget that you guys have only been on this planet, give or take, about 8,500 years. My people, 100,000. Gina's people, Saja's people, close to around the same time. Right? Emperor's people, Kalita's people, along with my people, the originals, right? The original OGs. And you guys, in the 8,000 years that you've been on this earth, and first of all, it was by accident, because you're on a planet, I don't know if you know this, but you're 3 planets away from the sun. So my people, Gina's people, and Saja's people were created to be on a planet 3 planets from the sun because of this thing called melanin, and then also the ability to absorb vitamin D. Your people were created accidentally of a mutation, and we have those 2 mutation genes. We know which ones they are, the SLCs, right? To allow you to be able to absorb more vitamin D because you couldn't do it on your own, right? And also we can go back to the Neanderthals and the fact that you were already having problems reproducing when you were Neanderthals because you were so violent. And the male Neanderthals specifically were extremely violent and were raping Neanderthal women. And nobody wanted to produce with the Neanderthals. And the reason why the crossover happened was because Neanderthal males started raping other species because their own species didn't want to reproduce them. So even back 8,000 years ago, the earth knew you weren't supposed to be here and was trying to eliminate you. And now let's push forward 8,000 years where you have literally colonized the whole world. And the only reason why you were able to do that is not because of your advancement in technology or because you were so societally advanced. You weren't. In fact, you were far behind. Like Saja's and Gina's people were understanding the concept of zero and understood that the sun was what the planets moved around and not the earth, while y'all motherfuckers were still trying to figure that out. Okay? y'all were still in caves while my people understood the concept of zeros and had universities and were building systems with irrigation systems and sanitation, just as it was happening in the Americas with the indigenous people. Same thing. We were trading amongst each other while y'all were still figuring out how to light fires. Then disease came around because you're disease ridden and have always been dirty, and you were able to conquer the world because of that. That was your one up. Because when you first came to the Americas, Cortez was getting his ass kicked left and right. The Aztecs and the Mayans were dragging Cortez up and down South and Central and South America. Then he came back with disease and had those blankets. And that was the only reason why. And then you guys then gave yourself a 400-year head start on a global front. And you literally fucked that over. You fucked it up. And now what we're witnessing is the earth saying, I've given you guys 8,000 years to figure this out. You already are here by a fluke. And I was like, I'm gonna let y'all make it. And Mother Nature is like, but wait a minute, now you fucking with my earth. Because the reason why we're losing our earth is because of white supremacy. If we listened to indigenous people, this earth would have been saved. We wouldn't be having climate change issues if we kept societal norms that were set by indigenous tribes on a global level. So you got rid of the indigenous people. You still to this day don't have a tracking system for missing indigenous women in the Americas. You don't have that. Right? Because you don't give a F about indigenous and black bodies. You floundered your 400-year head start. And evolutionary wise, when we look at you, you have not evolved on a consistent basis into a way that makes sense and that is beneficial to the world on a human level, or when we talk about Mother Nature. And so Mother Nature always wins out. Evolution always wins out. Evolution always gets rid of the weakest link. That is how survival works. And so that is what we're looking at. You guys are not making any effort to push yourselves through on a cultural level, on a genetic level. You guys keep having children with your daughters. Another great to add to that, a statistic to add to that is, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are more high school mothers than there are high school fathers. And I know a lot of you men don't understand the importance to that statistic. And most of them, when we look at the disparity between high school moms and high school fathers, the disparity happens in one demographic at a large number, and that's the YT demographic. Does anyone know what I'm talking about when I say that there are more YT high school mothers than there are YT high school fathers? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
They're passing around a man.
No, they're the fathers ain't in high school. Mothers.
The fathers ain't in high school.
The papas aren't in high
adults.
school, and the papas are in their family. And so this is also the reason why when you guys want to deny this SA statistic that we give you on children, and that like we understand that SA of children happens in all races, but when we look at an epidemic of child SA and corn issues, there's only one demographic that has that issue. And we can go over to a next subject and parallel compare that to the one group in America that has an issue with creating Habsburg genes genealogically throughout their DNA and family tree. And for those of you who know what a Habsburg Chen is, look it up. There's a reason why inbreeding we see predominantly, when we talk about inbreeding in America, we see it really only in one demographic. We see Habsburg Chens only in one demographic. We see lack of symmetry on faces in only one demographic, because only one demographic is having children with their cousins and their daughters. And that's white tea people. And so you come up here and you say, oh, this is racism. It's not, it's fact. You're effing yourselves out of existence. And then you come up here and you tout this false like supremacy thing. And then you want to now force your women to have babies, and white women, I don't feel sorry for you because we told y'all to grow a backbone and stand up. And then now we were able to get you into the workforce. Black women are the reason why white teen women were in the workforce. And now you've squandered that away. And now we're forced back into house to have babies every 14 months because you voted for this. This is what you asked for. So we gave it to you. But and for those of you who are saying the 68% growth, you're going on biased websites who forget to tell you that that's because they're including people who identify as white Hispanic. And now they're considering including Asian population into the white demographic because they need to find a way to combat them becoming the minority. And they don't want to do that. That's why when we have these conversations amongst the Black and brown community, we have serious beef with the Asian community. Because you guys benefit from all of our work, but every single chance you get to identify with whiteness, you do until they call it the China flu, or until certain situations happen where you pass an no hate Asian bill. All of a sudden now you understand intersectionality until you do your best as a community to get rid of affirmative action because you don't want your children going to Harvard with Black children. And then when you get what you want, you're the only ones whose acceptance rate goes down. Then you understand how you're not white. All of this thing is parallel. But when we talk about it, it's racism. Suddenly y'all know what the fuck racism is. And that's not even what racism is. So you can continue to either go along with the program that you've been going along to, as the emperor said, racism costs money. And it's not just money. It's costing you your literal gene pool. Because your kids don't listen, and if they make it to the point to high school, they're so violent because y'all literally don't know how to raise your kids because Black and brown and indigenous people have been raising your kids for you up until the 1960s. That's why y'all can't cook or clean, because we've been doing it for you on a global level. And now you're forced to be with your children and raise them. Now all of a sudden we understand postpartum. Now all of a sudden we understand about giving women help. And still you guys in America haven't figured that out, right? And now you guys say, oh, it's not all. No, you literally raise your children to be like this too, because in elementary school, they start showing the signs of their entitlement and their privilege and their racism. And then they get to high school and they unalive everybody in the school because someone told them no. Which is literally what you guys have done throughout the history of mankind is indigenous Black and brown people tell you no, you just destroy the whole thing and take it for yourself. So you have done this to yourself on a financial level, an educational level, and a genetic level. Mother Nature will always pick the strongest link, no matter how many times you guys sit here and blame Spanish-speaking people, indigenous people, Black people, any non-white person. Mother Nature sees through your bullshit and says, I don't think you're the strongest link. And in fact, I've given you 8,500 years at best to figure this out. And all you've done is cause destruction on a global level and through species, cross species, and to the land. So I'm just going to eliminate you.
I don't even know how you follow up.
Nah, you good.
She's amazing.
You good, Jayla. Let me jump in here. I know how to follow up with it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Because I want you motherfucking white folks to see what y'all really about. I want to show you motherfuckers what your leaders ain't showing you. This is white people in America right now. This the motherfucking problem that y'all got. Since y'all want to send troops to Black communities and shit, y'all need to send some motherfucking troops to y'all community. Look at the supreme race being supreme. Look at y'all being supreme. These the Finnies. These the Finnites. These the nodders. These the daywalkers, the sleepers. This is shit they don't want you to see. But they think it's Black degeneracy. This is shit they don't want y'all to see. This is why I say, well, we shouldn't give a fuck. Look at them. Why should we give a fuck about what they got going on? They ain't care about our community. 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. For the 99 and the 2000, they gave us their t-shirts. I dare one of you motherfuckers to ask me to help y'all get over y'all addiction issue in y'all community. I don't give a two fucks about what y'all going through. These motherfuckers earned it. Look at them. Look at them. Look at these criminals.
We got our
Look at these
communities.
criminals.
We got our communities out of this situation because the government wasn't helping us after you guys dumped metric tons of sugar booger into our communities to pay for your Iran-Contra issue. So we fixed that because y'all told us, oh, you asked for it. No one made you take the rugs. And then there's still people in California and in Texas that are serving life sentences for WEED cases. And for being
motherfucking community.
For being
you ever seen a
rough
motherfucker
addicts.
sleep like that with a bird on their back?
And we cleaned up our communities, and you guys have always had a rug and alcohol issue. Since before we came to this country, it's been a white tea issue. And now we're watching it happen. And so my thing to you is, I'm just gonna say what you guys said to my people. Clean up your communities. So why are you asking for a handout? Why is it all of a sudden understood that addiction is a mental health issue when it involves white teen people, but not when it involves Black communities? And still to this day, when we look at resources for drug and addiction issues, Black and Hispanic and Indigenous communities are continuously underserved and under budgeted in those programs. But white, upper class, middle class, suburban areas get their budgeting and their funding for this. And you still can't clean up your people. The reason why we're in an epidemic is because middle class white tea women who are the functional addicts and we're out here using that shit and getting that shit from their doctors and using it to cope because their husbands made them have 4 or 5 kids and give up their career and they had no life. And so they turned to
Look at these black folk, Panda. Look at these black criminals.
Yes.
Look at these black criminals.
And the number they don't tell you till to this day in this epidemic, that the issue is still in white teen middle class homes because the white teen women in the middle class are using this shit in their homes still. You just don't see them out in the streets because they're functional.
So,
Shooting up in between their toes so their husband doesn't see them.
Black people, it's not our job to say nobody else's community, especially these white people who lack compassion. They don't see us as being human, and we need to look the other way in terms of whatever problem they got going on their side of the world. I mean, fair is fair. What are we doing here, America? We got no resources in our community when we had to deal with the war on smugs in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. Now, all of a sudden, that is white addiction. All of us need to come together and kumbaya and say to white people and give them healthcare clinics. Let's decriminalize smug possession in America. Where the fuck did white people get all this empathy from? What was the empathy in the 80s and 90s? This shit was a criminal charge on both sides of smug usage. If you dealt it, you got a criminal charge. If you used it, you got a criminal charge. White racist people in here in the comments, please tell me one resource that the federal government or state government or local government gave black people to combat addiction issues in black America. No healthcare facilities, no programs, no nothing. Just their t-shirts. I dare you to stop smoking, black people. But now that it's YT people, all of a sudden we need to come together as Americans and save these poor people. They're not bad people. They're just sick. They're just ill. Save these white people. Yo, we not falling for this shit as a group of motherfucking people, man. Y'all tried to destroy our motherfucking community. I don't have no compassion for y'all because y'all don't have no compassion for us. I grew up in that shit. I know what it looked like outside to live in the midst of a fucking war zone. And I can tell you this, y'all didn't see no motherfucking resources. And y'all damn sure didn't say that black people had a public healthcare crisis on their hands. So black people, this time around, I know God in us and we got that spiritual thing going on, but we got to look the other motherfucking way. White people got to save themselves. White people, you have to save yourselves. They have to save themselves. It's not our motherfucking responsibility to save white people from white addiction in America. It's not our motherfucking responsibility. I'm not an advocate for white addicts. I don't spend none of my motherfucking time speaking out, talking about how we need to help white addicts in America who hooked on this shit. They shouldn't have did it. You have a choice. You could have went to school and got an education. You could have been a basketball player, a motherfucking rapper, or perhaps a country music artist. But you chose to sell your ass and do smugs. So live with it. Sleep nice and comfortably on that motherfucking sidewalk you like to lay on. You earned it. You earned it. You made the decision to do that shit, not me. So why the fuck do I have to feel sorry for you and say that you're a victim and you need a clinic? These white addicts need to be rounded up and thrown in a cold cell and forced to detox with no help. Because that's what they did to black folks. Black people, y'all too motherfucking nice, man. Y'all too motherfucking nice. Y'all too motherfucking nice. These people gonna play in our motherfucking face. They put the war on smugs on us. They put army tanks in black neighborhoods and more police officers. They militarized the police forces in America. That's how they dealt with the fucking smug epidemic that we had in our community. But now that it's them, we need to kumbaya and sympathy and go to the motherfucking cathedral in Paris and pray to a fucking monk to save white people in America. White people in America, y'all gonna save y'all motherfucking selves or y'all gonna be our own motherfucking demise. Black people ain't got no love or no energy to give nobody else. We are under attack right now and we have to fortify and protect ourselves. We fucking with the Mexicans, we fucking with the indigenous people because they melanated. You white folk got to fix your own community, man. And I tell you this, poor white people, when the blacks are gone and the browns are gone, who the fuck gonna fight for poor white folks? Y'all be right back in the factory working for 15 cents a day, getting Fosse jaw. If you don't know what Fosse jaw is, look it up. That's when young white women worked in a phosphorus factory, dipping a match in phosphorus for so long with no protection that their whole motherfucking jaw began to rot off. Look it up, Fosse jaw. Dan, what's going on, man? I hate to bring you in the midst of this heated conversation. My European brother.
European, oh goodness gracious. No, European historian, not European, just American, everything was. No, it's perfectly fine. I was laughing the whole time, as always. Panda's always ripping, Costco, everybody else. So it's good seeing everybody again. Yeah, I mean, listen, like no one, to be quite honest, like no one should feel sorry for white T folk because white T folk don't feel sorry for white T folk. And I'm just being perfectly honest. I was working in West Gastonia, west of Charlotte, all the way in West Gastonia as a car mechanic when I was in high school and college. And I remember daywalkers, you mentioned, which was a term we used, people that were under the H epidemic, so the oxy and all that stuff. I just remember seeing people just on the street, just unaliving all the time. And white T folk don't even have sympathy or empathy for white T folk. So Lord knows I would never ask anybody to feel sorry for them because they don't, their own communities don't feel sorry for them as well. And I think that, you know, what Panda mentioned earlier, she was talking about the 80s, you know, with the sugar burger and the C-Rocks. The thing is about that is that what people forget a lot, especially with white T folk, is that white T people were just doing it as much as anybody other demographic. They were just less penalized and they weren't talked about as much. This is kind of what the War on Schmugs leaves out, is that white T folk, middle class and upper white T folk, as well as poor white T folk, were very much doing the same exact things just as much, if not more, as black and brown Americans, but they were not in the news as much. They were not imprisoned as much. They didn't get as harsh sentences. And that's ultimately the problem. White T folks do all these things to ourselves because, you know, it's white T supremacy. They're bored. What else are they going to do? They ain't got nothing else to struggle for and live for. So they're like, well, dang, everything's been done for me my whole life. I guess I'm just gonna do a bunch of schmugs and zoom out in the world. That's just really how it goes. So what happens when you create a false supremacy narrative and then you stop trying in the world, or you realize that you're just an average dude in a world where you know you don't belong. So you're just like, well, I got nothing else to do now but, you know, zone out and let Nirvana take me.
No, facts. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like this, man. The truth is going to be the truth. If we didn't have racism, I wouldn't be on this app having a conversation. I'd be somewhere with my feet kicked up. I'd be somewhere with my feet kicked up, just relaxing and chilling, man. But that's not the case. It's like, bro, we are tired of dealing with racism. We're tired of being told that racism not real when that shit continues to interfere with black progress. Like, you can't tell us to get jobs and get educated. And then when black women run off and become the most educated demographic, you use some bullshit anti-DEIA policy or initiative to fire all the black women who you told to go get qualified and get hired. This the bullshit that we have to deal with in this country. Bro, we're like, I'm no longer coddling white people and trying to make it make sense or make it acceptable or digestible. Like, I don't give a fuck how y'all feel, bro. Like, you racist white people, I don't give a fuck how you feel. Because you know the shit you do wrong. Go ahead, Dan.
No, absolutely, and I think there's so much ego wrapped up into it and so much insecurity that no white folk is going to admit they're wrong of their own accord unless they're like of the 10% of people that are willing to admit, you know, I was wrong, I need to deconstruct myself. And as someone that is argumentative with my family and people I know all the time, it is usually 10% of the people will change the ways. And I mean, listen, you just see it recently. Like I said, I'm from Belmont, I'm from Gastonia, I'm from West Charlotte. Like, there was just a incident in Charlotte. I don't know if you guys know about it, but I'm not going to get into it. But essentially, all it took was for one tragedy to happen to a white teen woman, and then everyone is putting on their hoods, and then everyone's like, let's go unalive some black and brown folk. We need to do more. It's like, it's absolutely insane to me, because these are the same people. It's like, we're a post-racist society, but the instant something happens, this tragedy happens, we're going to go unalive a bunch of folk. It is the most absolute ridiculous thing. Yeah, the refugee on the train. Yeah, people are mentioning this well. And this is the thing. And like, I'm like, y'all are crazy. Like, y'all part of the Triple K at this point, because like, how was your first reaction to this? You know what we need to do? We need to go do strange fruit things. Like, why is this your reaction? How are you that cruel as a person that in the midst of tragedy you just want to start unaliving people? Or like, we need more fascism. We need to get the National Guard down here in order to start patrolling these trains to prevent this from happening again. And this is why we're in the situation we're in. It's a bunch of white tea folk that's like, you know what we need? We need a dictator. We need martial law, because Lord knows we can't. We've been suppressing our racism for so long. We're just going to start letting it out now every chance we get. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. It's horrendous. And the fact that it's still the same and it's never changed, and got 400 years, 1619. So 407 years now, like, going on, like. Like, don't feel sorry for white tea people. White tea people don't feel sorry for white tea folk. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for any of those folks.
It's just a savage ass behavior for me. All white people, all y'all know is some motherfucking violence. That's all y'all know is violence, bro. And y'all play the victim so much. A white Ukrainian national got harmed. I thought you bitches didn't like Ukraine. I thought you conservative people didn't like Ukraine. But now y'all ready to put y'all motherfucking Triple K hoods on for a Ukrainian migrant. I thought you niggas didn't like Ukraine. And Zelensky. What happened? What the fuck I missed? I thought we were cool with Russia now. I'm sure the Russians would like a Ukrainian being deleted. I thought what happened? What happened to the anti-Ukraine rhetoric? Oh, it was a black man involved in it. Now it's time to march and put the hoods on. What the fuck should black men do when a white boy with a GoPro cam on his head walk into a motherfucking grocery store in New York and unalive elderly black people? What should we do? If y'all can gather up the horses and ride out at midnight because one white bitch was unalive, what do we do when 20 black people get unalived? What should the temperament of black people be? What should we do? I would like to know. You white people out y'all motherfucking mind, yo. I say this shit time and time again, bro. White men are not capable of governing a multi-ethnic nation. There's nothing fair about these men. There's nothing God-fearing about these men. They have no moral foundation. They are absolute fucking violent savages. They are racist. They are bigoted. They are misogynist. They don't fuck well, and they mad at the world because they was born with a little pecker. The white men, if y'all could get on the Mayflower 2.0 and go back to Europe, man, this country will be so motherfucking great. I can see black, brown, and indigenous love just all over this motherfucking continent. Y'all are a fucking stain on humanity. Y'all a stain on humanity, man. Y'all fucking racism, y'all bigotry, y'all fucking evilness. It's like, why do we have to continue to play with these people and make them feel like they are not who they are? White men are violent, sexual, fucking savages. Go ahead, Emperor.
This guy, Remembering America First, down here in the comments. Again, anybody who's joining, I'm sick, so forgive my voice. He really think he eating down here in the comments. He made some comment about black people not getting married, black women not being married more often. But listen, you casserole crusader. White Hispanic women have a slightly higher marriage rate, but the gag is about 65% of white women are unalived by their own husbands. So that shiny little marriage rate you're bragging about for a lot of white women is an unaliving sentence. And their fertility rates, we talked about this already, 1.5 kids per woman, that's below the replacement level. Translation, even when y'all do marry, you're not producing enough to replace yourselves. Meanwhile, black and brown women are leading in entrepreneurship and education and holding this damn country together. So congratulations, Mr. Mayonnaise, Manifest Destiny. You're bragging about y'all getting married more, but you're also unaliving your families more. So yeah, you won the gold medal and I do, but you're flopping in the Till Death Do Us part, and you're failing in the biology class. So you fucking basement barbarian bragging about a sinking ship marriage without safety, without birth replacements, a whole demographic. Your entire demographic is in decline. So keep laughing, you and the clan of Cream of Wheat Crusaders, because the real gag is black and brown women don't need marriage rates to validate us. We've got survival. We've got the highest education in the country. We've got success and legacy. And your little statistic is nothing more than just a obituary for your demographic. So I'm glad they're marrying y'all. Y'all, they can have y'all since y'all unalive them so much. And I'm gonna go on mute.
And to piggyback off of that, first of all, Black men are making your women single mothers more than they make anybody else single moms. I'm gonna say that again. Black men are making your women, your white women. So your white women are choosing to leave a situation where they could get married to you and choosing to go have a baby with a man who they know is gonna leave them a single mom. They're choosing that. And second of all, Black women aren't getting married because nobody wants to marry us. Because our grandmothers are telling us don't fucking do it. Because men suck on a overall basis. The patriarchy sucks. It does not work for us if we're now making more money than we've ever made before. We're literally uprooting our communities out of generational poverty. Black women are doing that. We're becoming educated. We're traveling more. We're having more opportunities. Why would we want to get married? Why do I need to attach? Now, what is the reason for me to attach myself to a man? For what? What am I getting out of that I can't provide for myself? That makes no sense at all. Especially like when we see what the patriarchy is doing to us on a medical apartheid level. Because the chances of getting pregnant if we get married just raise higher. Why do we want to have babies in a medical apartheid system? I choose this. I choose to come home to a quiet home to my cat and dog. Trust me, my list of opportunities are far and long on a global level. I can pick whatever man I want from any country I want, from any continent I want. The issue is not that men don't want to marry us. Is we don't want to fuck with you raggedy ass sons that your moms couldn't figure out how to fucking raise properly. And your white women are showing you that because they're choosing to raise black children as single moms, then not only have children with you and your so-called blue collar jobs that make you so much money, they don't even want that. They're choosing food stamps and raising kids by themselves than reproducing with you and getting married and having to deal with your funky ass, racist ass white mamas who created the situation, the bad issue in the first place. And having to deal with your creepy ass fathers, your creepas for fathers who are trying to touch them as their daughter-in-law and then try to touch their grandchildren, which are their children. So they're just like, fuck it, I'll take a YN at this point. Literally.
Can I answer your question, Caso, that you asked?
Yeah, give me a second, Sarge. And I'll come to you next. I see some black conservatives in here. Y'all not gonna like it. I'm in here talking bad about white people. Especially that boy Patriot. He get real mad when you say something about a racist white person. He start fumigating and shit. You might not like it in here, Patriot. I'm talking bad about white people today. I don't want to excuse yourself from this conversation. I want you to get hypertension. People have the right to do whatever they want to do, man. And that's what we lose. We lose their understanding as other people. We don't have the right to make a decision for anybody else. Life is short and it's singular. It's your life, you live it, and then you disappear. Nobody else gonna live this shit for you and nobody else gonna disappear for you. If you're a woman who don't want to have a fucking husband or a family and you want to just thug it and kick it and relax your whole life, that's your right. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to do anything. It's your life. Just honestly speaking, the majority of women are going to have children or want to have children. But women who don't want to have a fucking child or a family, what's wrong with y'all just accepting the fact that they want to just enjoy life in a singular state and just worry about themselves? There's nothing wrong with it. But we have these men with these presumably conservative blanketed mentalities. Y'all just irate fools, man. You don't have the fucking moral authority to tell a woman to lay down and have a child. You don't have the moral authority to tell somebody what God they should praise or what they should believe in. Who the fuck are you? Have any of you niggas ever walked on water and got it on camera? You have not. It's like we get disconnected from reality, man. We are singular beings who experience tribalism and community. That is the only thing that attaches us to other people. Our tribalism and our community. Minus that, you would just be one fucking dot floating around this world on your own. But the ideas provided to us from the patriarchy and white supremacy has convinced us otherwise. White supremacy tells all men that you have moral authority over other women. That's what the patriarchy and white supremacy does to even men of color. It convinces a group of men who are marginalized and discriminated against and hated that they have the same level of power and authority as white men at the top of the system. And you don't. You don't. We don't, black men. We don't have that same level of power. We are not of the patriarchy. And you niggas who choose to be minions for the patriarchy are traitors to your own fucking community. Go ahead, Saji.
Yeah, you had asked what measures should we take to those disgusting creatures that go out in pew schools. How should you fix that, right? Because we've seen how white people have, quote unquote, attempted to fix problems within the black and brown community. I say unalive by Pew Squad. The person and both of the parents. You know what? When I saw ICE coming around grabbing children and putting them in detention centers because they couldn't get a hold of their parents, I thought that was inhumane. You know who didn't think that? White people. They thought that was just fine. They thought that was okay. When we've seen what they've done to black communities, every time that black people wanted to create something beautiful and they just went and boomed it and set that shit on fire, they didn't punish one person. They didn't punish one leader. They didn't punish one group. They punished the entire community. They don't individualize black and brown people. They turn us into a monolith. They again, they collectively punish us. So for me, I mean, that's also why I can't run, because if I were to come up with a solution, it would be Unalive by Pew Pew Squad, the school Unaliver, and both of the parents, and maybe teach them a lesson. Maybe from then on, people would say, oh, did you see the school Unaliver? Him and both of his parents were, sentenced to unalivement. Then maybe the rest of the white tea parents would try to raise their children to grow up and be working members of society and not go take out more children. Well, how else are they going to learn?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, that's authoritarianism, right, Saj? Since they love authoritarianism so much, and they think that they want dictatorship and authoritarianism, that's what happens in authoritarianism, right? When you guys were screaming "yay" when we unalived those people in that Venezuelan fishing boat because it wasn't a trafficking boat, and by the demographics, we know it's not. When did we as a country start unaliving rug traffickers? We've got Noriega sitting in a Fed right now, living a Fed life. And we've never unalived rug traffickers except for what's his name in Colombia. Like, so now you guys are screaming authoritarianism when we're unaliving brown people from South America. But then what Saj recommended, because that's authoritarianism, what she said, oh no, now you don't want it. And to address Remember America First and your other little conservative friend, black men still marry black women at a higher rate, way higher than they marry white women. You have your facts straight. And when we look at educated black men with college degrees, almost 100% of them still marry women. Black men are not marrying white women. They are making them single mothers. They're not actually getting married to them. They're creating babies with them, and then they're going off and marrying black women. And they're still creating babies more with black women than they are with anybody else. The NFL and the NBA has y'all thinking that this is real life. It's not. It's not. And still, in those relationships that we see in the NBA and the NFL, the divorce rates between interracial couples, specifically black men with white women, is at the highest rate of anybody else of divorce levels. So again, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You just continue to speak on us because you wake up obsessed, because you're obsessed with black women. And the reason why we're on your mind is because you fall asleep with us on your X videos and Pornhub site. So you go to bed thinking about us in your search bar, and then you wake up thinking about us, and then you turn around and look at your white wife and realize that she's not your preference, and you're miserable about it, which is why most of you hate your wives, because you don't even want your white wives. So stay obsessed with us.
Let me say this. We can stop addressing them, y'all. Because whatever, white, black man, black woman, I don't like that shit. Whatever they own, let them have it. If they believe that shit true, it's true. In terms of schools, a serious solution or one type of... This country needs what are deemed to be school safe zones. And if we chop schools up into safe zones, we would find that most of the black schools in impoverished neighborhoods would be in safe zones. And people who live in close proximity to school safe zones should not be able to bear arms. Like, we need serious solutions. So if you're in a county where a school is where a particular school is high risk, then firearms should be made illegal in that county. Because we're not finding these school pew-pewers traveling across state line and all the way across the country to do it. A lot of these people are cultivated right there in their community. So we need to create school safe zones in America. And if you want your children's school to be in a school safe zone, then it's going to force you to be serious or more serious about some sort of gun reform. You have to get serious about it. You hold white people accountable by taking away what they love. You take them pew-pews away. You take them big-ass pickup trucks away from them. You take the beer away from them, and you take Cracker Barrel away from them. And then they wake the fuck up and realize that they need to do something to solve an issue that we have in this country. The way YT people just let these school pew-pews roll off their shoulder, that shit is mind-boggling to me. Like, little fucking children get unalived every year at school in America. And white men aren't taking this shit seriously or providing or presenting any sort of measures to counter that. Y'all, I showed the video earlier. The president stood up there talking about constructions and safety lock doors. What the fuck is a safety lock door? What is a door gonna do to save children? The last dude up in Minnesota, he pew-pewed through a fucking window. Would that safety lock door had helped them babies? It wouldn't have. The schools in America need to be chopped up into safe zones. And if we did that and we look back and use data to show us what schools are at risk of being pew-pewed up, I'm pretty sure most of those schools would be in predominantly white areas, and those schools would be deemed not stable or not to be in a safe zone. And then the people in and around those communities that are not in safe zones should have their pew-pews removed because they have not protected their children in the way that they should protect their children. Founder, you want to get in here?
Hey, Castle, thank you. Yeah, I actually...
No, there ain't no ops. I don't want no motherfucking racist white people up here. A black Republican can come up here. But I'm done talking to you racist ass white people. I don't want none of you racist ass ice monkeys up here talking to me, trying to convince me that you motherfucking superior. And I don't want none of you racist ass white people coming up here crying about what y'all going through. I'm sick of you bitches telling me about Irish slaves. If I hear one more motherfucking story about an Irish slave, I'm gonna lose my mind. Go ahead, Founder.
Thanks, Castle. Hey, guys. So I actually came up because I was listening to the conversation. I agree with you guys, and I was seeing the comments for remembering Keep America First in the comments, lying, talking about our poor white people are good. No, they're not. Talking about as if we don't have these issues in our community, and we absolutely do. Let me just reiterate this. I said this a couple of months ago. I grew up in an affluent YT town, and the high school was called the pharmacy. Why? Because those kids were bringing their parents prescription medications and throwing them in a bowl and taking them by the handfuls. Okay? That's happens in these small YT towns that you think are so wonderful. You also don't address the fact that the trauma that's occurring in their homes is the gateway to them ending up slumped on the sidewalk, because YT people don't address the issues within our family. And stop pointing your finger in the opposite direction and start actually giving a shit about our community. And let's fix our problems. Let's start there. Let's also talk about the fact that when our YT family members are on schmugs and they're getting arrested, they're also not experiencing the same penalties. I have a step cousin who was a rock user that lost her children because she was found elevated with her children in the home. And then she got clean for a while and then ended up with her street pharmaceutical person and had another child that was then taken away. Then she supposedly got clean again and was working with at-risk youth and embezzled $65,000 from that group home. And guess what? She got a slap on the wrist. I have no respect for our community because we don't deal with the issues in our community. Let's be truthful. Let's be honest. Let's actually acknowledge the problems that we have and fix them, because acting like they don't exist is the problem. You're also the same people that when we have warming stations for the houseless, you're the ones that are petitioning against it. These are the same people that you say are good and that you care about. You're a liar. And another thing, as far as even with my abuse, I would rather gnaw off my right arm than wake up next to a YT man. And I'm going to tell you why. Misery is generational. I have watched the women in my family for my entire life talk about how miserable they are and how they're waiting for their husbands to unalive because they were not taught to be partners. They were taught to be only providers. They are not participants in their marriage. They are not participants in child rearing, and they are abusers. And that is the reality.
Which arm, Founder?
My right one, and that's my dominant one, so that tells you a lot.
Marcus, you want to jump in here, bro? It's crazy. Like it's so crazy. We have to have these conversations, and that shit start to play on your mental after a while. You start to feel crazy. Like this country so ass backwards now. Like some days I wake up like, am I crazy? Like I had to really snap myself back into reality and be like, no, you're not crazy. It's them. Because it's like there's no way that white folk trying to take us back to the Gilded Age. Like, nigga, why the fuck would we want to go back to the Gilded Age? To a time period in which 100 white families ran the whole country and everybody else was poor. White people, be careful what you ask for. White people were poor during the Gilded Age. There was no New Deal at that point. There was no white welfare system. There was nothing but hard fucking factory work for 5 cents an hour. It was literally peasants and newly freed slaves in the Gilded Age. It was rich white men, peasants, and newly freed slaves. That was the Gilded Age. We didn't even have brown people in this motherfucking country yet. It's like YT people will ask for the most degenerate things. Take us back to the Gilded Age. Fuck vehicles. Bring back horse and buggy. Nigga, what? No vehicles? Like, bruh, we gotta take the country. Like, we have to take this shit back from white people, man. Dan, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, Dan. Niggas say fuck vehicles, horse and buggy right now. No.
This is the shit I grew up with, Casa. What are you talking about? I grew up with this. I was like, no, y'all crazy. I'm leaving. I'm not going back. This is why I don't go back home that often. I go back home and I'm like, this is why I don't come home. I'm like, you know, I need to go back home. I need to see everybody. You know what? I'm not coming back for a while. It's been too long. I'm like, I would tell y'all, it gets crazy. I thought everybody knew it was crazy. It was crazy.
Right, I'm going crazy now. You know how long a motherfucking road trip will take cross country with a horse and buggy? Bitch, that shit gonna take 3 months.
Fuck that. I'm thinking about how long it's gonna take me to get from my house to fucking Fenway for a ball game. I'm not taking that. Like, nah.
But it's like this, y'all. Look at the shit YT people advocate for. It's like YT people don't like no progress. YT people lost their mind when people start working remotely. Motherfuckers are lazy working out remotely. Get out the house. Like, nigga, this is the new world. There's some shit called Zoom calls, Wi-Fi. It's okay, white people. You can work remotely. It's all right. White folk want your ass tied up to an oil rig working 17 hours a day for a snack and $3. Like, dog, can we not go into the future? Can we not be futuristic? No moving side, no self-moving sidewalks or flying vehicles. We never gonna get to that shit, huh? We still gonna have to just keep doing the racism shit over and over and over and over again. When the fuck I'ma teleport for the first time? All that shit I saw in the movies was a motherfucking lie. Y'all keeping the good shit from us white folks. We ready to teleport. And you bitches still talking about blackness. I tell you what, I crashed the fuck out, bitch, because I ain't marching to drink out no motherfucking water fountain. I'm going to just drink out that bitch, and we're going to have to pew it out. I'm going to quench my motherfucking thirst in anybody's water fountain. I ain't going back. I ain't never going back. Go ahead, Jane. We can't hear you, G. You gotta speak up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So these motherfuckers, hijos de su puta madre, the destruction that they cause, you know, I'm always bring it back to Mother Earth, cause so you know me, I'm always bring some indigenous shit. I don't think they understand the impact of colonization and what they've done. They've affected the glaciers in Alaska so much that we have the sea levels rising. We have a disruption in the ecosystem. We have flooding, thermafrost thawing. It is right here, I'm reading it, that they give it 40 years, that's it. if we don't get our shit together as far as like stop drilling Mother Earth, stop doing stupid shit, 40 years and the Earth, Mother Earth will reset herself. Like, they're so fucking destructive. And they don't see that. No, you get these far right Republicans that just want to drill, baby, drill, and let's not have no repercussions for the shit that we fucking do. And 40 fucking years, 40 years, and this whole motherfucker's gonna be flooded all over the fucking again. But yeah, don't listen to us natives. Don't listen to the indigenous people telling you to stop doing that shit. Go ahead, flood us the fuck out. Flood us out. I want you to, so that Mother Earth can reset her fucking self. And maybe the next time around, it'll be some good people.
But we could have been turned over. We could have been turned over a new leaf. We have had technology for a while that points towards us being able to use the sun. It's capitalism and white supremacy and the patriarchy. All this shit got grounded up into a slushy called evilness. And they just don't give a fuck about nothing or nobody. We could have been charging shit up with the sun. And these people still screaming drill, baby, drill for profits. Why? Like, nigga, use the sun. That shit's so free. The sun's so motherfucking free, all you gotta do is go outside. It's that free. But white folks would much rather have fucking barrels and barrels of oil piled up, fucking have oil leaks in the ocean. These motherfuckers turning Alaska into Hawaii. The motherfucking polar bears leaving. Penguins all down in Florida and shit. What the fuck penguins doing in Florida? You fucking these people habitat up. These fucking penguins don't know if they coming to go. You putting tariffs on the penguins. White people just gonna fuck up the whole planet and then try to bail out and go to Mars. Y'all got me fucked up. I'ma hijack me a spaceship. You bitches won't destroy Earth and leave me. White folks will do some shit like that. Earth has 13 days left. White people make your way to an evacuating shuttle. Shit. You white motherfuckers gotta come off one of them shuttles. Wherever y'all going, I'm going. Y'all brought me to America and you bitches gonna take me to Mars. I'd be damned if you bitches leave me down here on the planet y'all destroy it.
Oh, speaking of, apparently, someone messaged me to say that what's going on in like Qatar and everything else, that America's evacuated its embassy in Turkey. So the white people are